Okay, hello class, how are you today? Hopefully everyone in safe condition. And right now I'm recording this video with the help of Joseph and Mutiara or Aya. So because why? Because when you will see this video, I will be on the move. I will be on road trip to Bali, and please wish me luck to get there in safe condition. So let's start with our class for today. What we will learn is about innovation imperative. So what does it mean to be an innovator, and also what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? As you already learned last week, what are the perils and also the all the stuff that you need to know about being an entrepreneur is not easy. But I think you all already fix your mind that you gonna be an entrepreneur, either that you will start as an employee or you directly jump into an entrepreneurial world. So today what you will learn, because an entrepreneur has to innovate every time. So you need to think about new ideas, new business, and etc. So you will understand about what is innovation and what does it relate to entrepreneurship, and how you need to understand about the essential of being an entrepreneur to survive and also to grow your business. And the other thing, that innovation is a process rather than a single flash of inspiration. So you won't only innovating one time, but you will be innovating a lot of times. You will always improve your business, your process, and you will also put a lot of new features in your products or services. So, innovation is a long journey and also a long process that you need to undertake. The other thing is about being innovative is also very difficult, because you have to manage all the process from the idea generation and then on how you like to build the idea into prototype. Then you have also to test the prototype into the market. So there are uncertainties and also risks of doing all of these stages and processes. The other thing that in innovation, what we need to do is how you need to put your mindset in the right place. This is very important. As an entrepreneur, you have to have the entrepreneur mindset, and you have to understand what is the right thinking process to become an entrepreneur and also to be an innovative person. Okay? So let's start. So, you know Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, and also he found so many innovative products that maybe you're now currently using it. And once he said that innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So, if you are an innovative person, you might be also a good leader. And you can also lead people to follow you. The other way around, people will always see and always look up to someone who is really innovative, who has a different kind of way of doing things. Not necessarily that you have to be artistic, not necessarily that you have to think out of the box, but you know on how to do things differently and to also give the right benefit to the target users. That is an innovation. So, all the innovations and innovators, what are they doing? Basically, we have to change the status quo. We have to change what already fixed to become a new. So we are renewing things as an innovators. So let's say that a lot of examples, not only in abroad, but also in Indonesia, like GoFood, changing the way on how people ask someone to deliver food order from a restaurant or from a retail chain, and etc. The other thing like Gojek, on how you transform the ojek-ojek in pangkalan, their station, so they are now having a really good opportunity to improve and also to increase their income, by taking orders by the Gojek customers. Another example, like kitabisa.com. So kitabisa.com provides the platform for anyone who like to chip in and also to donate for a good cause. So you can find so many cases that you can be able to help. Plus, you can also involve as an individual or as a team within the platform. This is a lot of example, that we can see not only from the for-profit business but also for non-profit business. The other example that we need to understand about why we need to become an innovative person. First of all, because the world always change. And maybe right now, you're now using smartphones. But do you know, maybe in the last 10 years or in the past 5 years, we were using feature phones like Nokia and BlackBerry, even though BlackBerry was considered as smartphones. But you will see a lot of like phones are using the keypads and etc. on it. And you can also see right now, where are they? Because we already often and we regularly use smartphones without keypads and everything it's on touch screen. This change in the market and also in the technology has shifted the global competition and the business landscape. So for Nokia, maybe you ever heard about Nokia, or maybe you never heard of it. Once the king of feature phones in the world, but now Nokia is no longer a phone producer, even though that they tried to revive a couple years back, but they didn't succeed. If we don't follow this kind of changes, like also in the case of BlackBerry, how they lost the competition to Android and Apple iOS, you won't be survive in this real world. So you need to innovate. Survival of the fittest, not only applied in the world of flora and fauna, but also it is applied in our business world. That is very important. So you need to understand as an innovator why you need to innovate, not only just to grow your business, but also to survive. You need to change, you need to adapt for the changes in the world, changes in the technology, changes in the socio-demographic condition, changes in the regulation, and so on. There are long lists of it. So I said before that innovations related to entrepreneurship. Let's now talk about entrepreneurship. The world right now is really hype and being in euphoria, especially in Indonesia, about entrepreneurship. You might find a lot of like festivals, events that grow the level of innovators and entrepreneurs in Indonesia, especially for startup founders. But why we need to understand about entrepreneurship? Because entrepreneurship is not just on how you sell something or a thing over the marketplace, but it also a mixture of energy, vision, passion, commitment, risk-taking, and judgment. So these are blended into a characteristic of an entrepreneur. And every innovation process will require entrepreneurial mindset and also entrepreneurship. So you will need to understand why we have to become an innovative entrepreneur. So you will always come up with something new to provide for your target customers. So about entrepreneurship, we can learn from big corporations, like Unilever. Unilever, as we know, the biggest fast-moving consumer goods company in Indonesia. Maybe everyday life we always use its product like Pepsodent, shampoos, soaps, and etc. Inside Unilever, even though they're already big and they always innovate, they have also a very good program to nurture the innovation culture within their organization. So you can find out in this link about the innovation in Unilever. You can learn about the innovation process inside and how they always find the right context to fit into Indonesian culture. What is the best product? How they can design the right packaging for our consumers in Indonesia. Also, you can learn about how they do the research to understand about the needs and wants of the customers. They used to go to houses and they talk to the customers. They ask a lot of things and they observe the entire environment of the customers to put themselves into their customers' shoes. So this is kind of the innovation process that you also need to do. The other thing that you need to understand, an innovation is a complex process because it requires a lot of juggles. You need to think about new things and you need to think about what are the things that you need to improve. So it's very complex. So you start with finding and recognizing opportunities. This can be started from your own problem or your friend's problem or anyone in your surrounding environment or your neighborhood about the problems. An innovator or entrepreneur are problem seekers and also a problem solvers. We like to understand about the problems, not jumping right into the conclusion or the solution, but spending much of the time to really dig in and dive in to understand about the problem. So after you understand about your problem that you want to solve, next thing is how you can find the resources that you will need to create the solution to solve the problems. So maybe you need to invest, maybe you need to find partners. You have also to get a technology to help you to build the solution. So this is the stage what we call as finding resources. Next, so once you build your solution, the next step in how you can launch the product into the market or can be used by your target customers. So this is the stage that you have to develop your venture. Can be in terms of a startup or a legal entity, a corporation or a company. You can start small or you can start big. It depends to your own resources. So once you launch and sell your products to the market, you have to capture the value in terms of the money, the return of investment, the return of expenses, and etc., etc. So this is the last stage, what we call as capturing the value. So these 4 big steps and processes are very complex process. So once more, innovation is a complex process, starting from recognizing the opportunities, then finding resources, and then developing the venture, and lastly but not least, capturing the value. So next, if you see this chart, this is a resulting model. What we need to pay attention to if we are going to manage the innovation in overall. So the overall model of this chart, starting from the goals as an entrepreneur. So where do you live? What is your surrounding looks like? And then how do you like to find the issues and problems? What is your goal? What do you want to become? And what do you want to be? And really, really important that what is your mission and vision? So this is also the very first step, and then continued by the complex process that we already learned. Recognizing the opportunity, finding resources, developing the venture, and creating the value. So all these processes, we can see they are all in a loop. So once you already created the value, you can go back again to redefine your goals, to also reorienting your vision, mission, and values to find another opportunities, and so on. So this is like a circle, or as I call as an innovation loop. You can go on and go on doing the same thing for more than 5 years or 10 years. So it will never stop. Okay, now let's again talk about the result model that we have seen. So this core process doesn't take a place in a vacuum. What does it mean? So it is influenced by so many factors. First of all, the clear strategic leadership, direction, and the commitment of resources to make this happen. So you will need and you will require the commitment of the leaders of the organization or your startups, or if you are as the founder, you really need to commit to get this thing done. Otherwise, without the commitment from the very, very top level, it won't be succeed. And the other thing, for innovation process can be successful, the structure, it also plays an important role. How you need to structure the organization, how lean can you be, or how complex that you want to structure your organization in order to develop and to deliver the product. Because the structure means that how you enable the people within your organization. What is the decision-making process? And how can you empower people to do as instructed, or to let them doing their job? It's all described in the organizational structure. Within the organizational structure, you can also bring your knowledge on how to manage people, because a good manager can empower the people to do their project to get things done as effective and efficient they want it to be. The other thing, that this is a link between the boundaries between the organization itself, the bureaucracy, the strategy making process, the decision making. Those are the boundaries, including also the resources and etc. and to the external agencies, yeah, so the competitors who may be the first person who developed the product compared to our knowledge, to our own capability. So we need to compete with them. Also, external agencies like customers on how they can change easily to choose between our products and competitors' products. Again, this is a complex process. So you need to understand the every element of this result model. Once again, yeah, how you need to set your goals, and then you need to recognize the opportunities, and then finding the right resources to build the solution, plus on how to build your venture and then to capture value from your entrepreneurial journey. So what does it mean? You want to become a successful person, don't you? I bet you are. And the other thing that you need to understand that not only just to become a successful person, but how can you contribute to the environment, to the society, to everyone. You have to think about this. So this is the time for you to explore and also to understand all the dimension of innovation. Where do you think that you're good at? If you're good at selling F&B products, you need to find your own positioning and your own uniqueness. If you're good at let's say, making videos, editing, and also selling it as a product, you can also pursue it and find your passion in it. If you're good at, let's say, analyzing data and then presenting it into something insightful, just try whatever you think that you are good at. Plus, find the right passion for you. Because entrepreneur without passion is like a zombie. You only after the commercial side or the profit side or even just for the money, it won't bring you happiness. The other thing that I need to share with you, as an entrepreneur, that we move in a very dynamic environment. Sometimes you feel that this is my passion, and sometimes you think about, oh, I got in a wrong way. I should not go to this way, and I should pivot myself into another direction or another business. You need to firm. Once you reach 40, you just cannot shift or pivot. You have to do what you're already good at it. Otherwise, you're only wasting your time. So this is your golden age for exploration, to understand where your passion is. Lastly, focus. Focus is very, very important. Yeah, if you want to become a data analyst, you need to learn a lot of things about how to process, present, and making a report out from data or information. If you want to become a fashion boutique owner, why don't you also learn how to design? Or maybe you can learn about the fashion business, how does it work, and etc. Even though right now you are a student in E&I International Business School and you're taking business major, it doesn't mean it will limit you to only learn about business. You can learn anything that you want outside your major. So you can also develop yourself, your career, your passion in abroad, not only in IPMI International Business School. You can take online courses, you can get involved in communities, you can also learn by your first hand on how to make things. Just do it. This is a very important moment for you to start. Yeah? So then you can start to innovate, whether in product innovation, like changing the things of the product or service that you like to offer, or process innovation, so you can find which process that it is ineffective or inefficient, and then you like to improve that process, or position innovation, like how you can change the context in which the product and service are introduced. Or you can also do a lot of like paradigm innovation, yeah, changes in the underlying mental models which frame what the organization does. So like myself, like what I do as a consultant to corporation, what I do first of all is to change the mindset, change the paradigm on how to innovate, starting from the right mindset, not from the technology. So that what does it mean as the paradigm innovation? Changing how the people think, changing how the people behave, and how they do things differently. Okay? So, in this pandemic, we've seen so many innovations as well, starting on how we use masks, and you may ever use a lot of variation of masks, not only for medical usage, but also for fashion masks. Or you can also look at how you use the hand sanitizer. Now it comes with many variations of products blended and mixed with a lot of flavors, yeah, like tea flavor or even lavender flavor and etc. So this time of crisis also brings you opportunities. If you're open to any kind of like problems, you can also find opportunities. Remember about the result model that we've learned. Okay, so having said this all, let's categorize the types of innovations. First of all, there is a very not less, but just a small of significant way of doing the innovation, like to improve the components inside a camera, a handphone, and etc. on how you can improve the process, improve the effectiveness or the efficiency of that component. And the other thing is create something new version, like of a motor car, an aeroplane, or a TV. Like in case for an aeroplane like Boeing, they have a lot of new series of their jet plane, like 737, 747, 777 or 777, and then 787, and so on. The other thing is how you can find new components for existing system. So if you want to replace, let's say, your smartphone with the newest camera with the higher megapixels, that is the example of getting new instrument or components for your existing product or ecosystem. Next, on how you want to advance the materials that you are now currently using to improve the overall components, so also to improve the performance of the things, of the technology. Like the example, for a handphone, maybe in the next 3 or 5 years, the handphone that we are using, not just in the physical type, but it can it can be used like in a hologram. So this is something that advancing the material itself on how you renew the total components, the total features, the total materials from a handphone or a smartphone. So there are many types of innovation. The other two left are how you can create a new way of using things, like the MP3 player. So maybe you ever use MP3 player 5 years ago or 10 years ago in this very small kind of box, and then you just insert your headset and you can listen to many songs. But now it already integrated into smartphones, so you can listen with thousands of songs, not only into one single gadget. Plus, nowadays, you already accustomed to listen to streaming music, like Spotify, Apple Music, and etc. You can pay as a subscription base to listen to any kind of song, to any kind of singers, any kind of genres, and etc. etc. So it's improving, and it's also changing the way on how we listen to music. Lastly, it can be in terms of revolution, something that we never seen before, something that we will see changing in the future, like artificial intelligence. On how right now AI or artificial intelligence being used not only for smart driving cars, but also in our houses. Maybe someday, in the next 3 or 5 years, we'll be normally seeing so many robots in our houses, helping us with a lot of household thingies. Yeah, like cleaning the floors or do the gardening for you, yeah, lawn, mowing, and etc. So those are the types of innovations. So the other thing that we need to understand about the strategic advantage in innovation. Building a capability to organize and manage innovation is a great achievement, but we also need to consider where and how innovation can be used to strategic advantage. This is from the corporate point of view. How the innovation can contribute to the overall business of a corporation. Because they need to invest how much the cost of building a new thing to develop a new technology, comparing to the risk that they will face, the risk of success and the risk of failures. So they have to see strategically, what should they do? What are they going to do? And how are they going to make it happen? How can we allocate resources to pursue for that innovation? So this is a story like Apple. What they do, they put amount of investment to improve things like that just recently launched, Apple 13. Yeah, Apple 13 or Apple 14? Apple 13 ya? 13 or Apple 14? 13 ya? Apple 13, okay? So Apple 13 just launched, and Apple put a lot of investment on how to improve this Apple smartphone series. Not only just Apple 13, but they also launched the iPad mini, the newest iPad mini, with the latest features and technologies. Plus, in the previous years, they launched Apple TV, they launched new Apple Air, new Apple MacBook, and etc. So for them, those products gave them a lot of contributions, not only just money, but also customers base. Those are really important for a business to survive. Okay. Now, let's talk about the innovation space. Where do you want to seek for a new thing as an innovation? How can you find the opportunities? First of all, we can see this by 2x2 axis. The right one is about product, the left one is about process, the upper axis about paradigm, and the lower axis about position. And in the middle is about innovation. So innovation can move to the right extreme axis as a process, and then product, and then left to the process, right up to the paradigm, and below as a position. So these are the playground that you can do to find in innovation. It's up to you. Where do you want to go? And where you good at? Yeah, remember, you need to understand your advantage and also what is your key strengths and where you think that you're good at it. Find any place that you need to innovate in this space. Okay? Okay. So now we have arrived to the last conclusion of our today's class. So we have seen about the result model and how innovation related to entrepreneurship. Now let's do the checklist. So you need to understand and to ask yourself frequently about these questions. First of all, do we have effective enabling mechanism for the core process? Do you have the activities? Do you have the resources to find the problems and to create the solution and to capture the value? Plus, do we have a strategic direction and commitment for innovation? Remember, a strong commitment from the owner, the founder, or the top level management is really important to get things done. Otherwise, it won't happen. Third, do we have an innovative organization? We talk about the structure. How you like to structurize your organization. Do you want to make it lean or do you want to make it complex? Or do you want to have a high bureaucracy or low bureaucracy? It depends on how you want to ensure your quality, because bureaucracy also needed, it's also needed to ensure the quality of the process. Yeah, you need to have a checklist and also to have the decision kind of process for you to understand about the innovation in overall. The fourth one, do we build rich proactive links so you can find your own community, your own interests, and then you can connect all the dots to becoming a new and an innovative way of doing things. And lastly, you can ask yourself, do we learn and develop our innovation capability? Capability is something that you need to improve every year. So if you want to understand about how to create a good product if in F&B, in food and beverage industry or in fashion industry, you can take a lot of courses, outside, online, offline, to develop your capability and also to develop your organization's capability to create new things. So that's all for our class today, and hopefully next week we can find the right problem and what is the thing you as a group want to explore and what your issues and problems that you want to solve. So we will do a lot of group assignments, yeah, starting from this week until the end of our class. You will be working as a group, you will be building a new venture, and hopefully, as right now, as I'm saying, you already understand what you want to do. Clear with your vision and mission, and you got something in your mind, approved and agreed by your group. This is the kind of business that we want to build. Okay, so that's all for today, and hopefully everyone stay safe and healthy. We will meet next week. Bye-bye.